Welcome to the inaugural podcast of Asians and Caucasians from Green Bay, Wisconsin. Let's hear it.
Hey,
What's going on, y'all?
Hey, we're clapping for ourselves.
Yes.
salutations.
Yep.
All right, let's get started. Asians and Caucasians, as you can imagine. There are some Asians in the room,
So much to talk about.
and there's one Caucasian.
Yep.
Yeah, and we'll start out just with some intros here to who you're listening to here. Let's start out here.
Hey, what's going on, guys? I'm Mr. R&B, and as you guys know, I am a videographer, and as well as everything digital media as well. So make sure you guys do keep up with us and hang out with us for this audio podcast. So
Sounds good. Sounds good.
Hola, this is Fonzie. How are you guys doing tonight? First podcast, so we're all gonna be a little bit excited, butterflies in our bellies and shit like that. Don't worry about the swearing; that'll probably get, erased out. But it's a good first podcast, and I'm excited with my buddies here to talk about lots of things and to drink some alcohol.
There you go. And my name is P. Riz. I am divorced, currently seeking work, and
Other things,
and happy to be here on the inaugural podcast for Asians and Caucasians from Green Bay, Wisconsin. Let's get right to our topics here. Let's start with Mr. R&B.
all right, so we're talking about dating in 2023.
Oh, here we go. Dating in 2023.
Is this something we want to talk about? Because it's a different world. Everyone's different now, especially with age groups. Everybody treats it differently. So,
definitely.
What are we going to talk? Yay or nay? What do you guys think?
Yay!
Yay.
I'm single, looking, seeking, but I am a monk.
What
You
is
are
a
a
monk?
monk.
What the fuck is a monk? Wait, tell me what a monk is.
A monk is many things depending on your culture and your beliefs. For me, when I say I am a monk, I am a monk.
That is it.
That is it.
That's his definition of a monk.
And Fonzie's cool, though. With a name like Fonzie, you know that...
Fonzie is definitely cool. Fonzie is a monk too. If you think of all the different Happy Days shows, he is the guy that stands out, and he is who he is, and he's fine with that.
And he was always surrounded by very
Does
attractive
he wear
females.
leather jackets? Is that the
Yeah.
leather jacket
The black
guy?
leather jacket and the motorcycle.
Oh my lord.
And Fonzie, have you had any reacquaintance with Pinky Tescadero?
Isn't that from Greece?
Happy Days.
Pinky?
Wasn't it like Pinky Tescadero or
I don't remember Pinky.
Penny Tescadero?
I don't remember. That sounds something like in Greece.
Yeah,
I'm too young. I don't know what the hell you guys are talking
Greece.
about.
Sounds like something from the Pink Ladies in Greece.
Yeah,
Right?
who knows? But
you got your different shows mixed up there.
yeah, it happens. It's
I
our
don't
first
worry.
show.
I know.
It's
All
our
right,
first-
Pre-Riz, what do you think?
Well,
Yay or nay, man?
Yeah or nay? Dating.
Both?
Uh,
Give us some input, man.
Yeah.
What a nightmare.
Why is that?
I think
we need stories now.
I'll speak from the male perspective.
There we go.
Please don't speak from the female perspective.
Right? Yeah. I don't feel that would be appropriate.
Let us know, P-Riz.
Well, it's its nightmare. I mean, you can rely on person to person. You can rely on online, or just fate reaching for the same pineapple at the grocery store.
So it's everywhere. Social media, you got online dating, you got what? Apps nowadays, you got
Family and friends.
connections.
Yeah, you have spiritual components. You have some that are spiritually based. You have some that are just then you have like Tinder. I don't think that's spiritually based.
I don't think it is. I don't have no accounts or anything like that. I never tried it, so I don't know.
Lies.
So Fonzie over here, why don't you let us in with a little bit of
Do you use Tinder,
secret-
Fonzie?
Do you use it?
Oh yes, I use Tinder
What do you use it for?
to meet people.
To meet people, and how has it worked? Has it been successful or?
I think I've been on it for ever since I've been divorced. So it's been 7-8 years now. I think I've met maybe 5 people off the app this whole time.
5 people. Okay.
And how many would you say you've probably reached out to?
Like swipe right on?
Sure. Yeah, swipe right.
I don't know. Probably thousands at least.
And
So you just keep swiping right to
You
say,
swipe right to see if you like the person. Swipe left if you don't like the person.
Oh, so
and then,
oh shit!
then
I
on
didn't
their
know that.
on their end, they'll see that you've either swiped right swipe right on them, and if they like you also, because once you swipe right on them, and they swipe right on you, then it's a match, and then from there on, you guys can conversate.
And then it's well, hello, Fonzie.
That's only if she wants to conversate with you, right?
Well, it's both ways. If she's,
it goes
let's say
both
she's,
ways.
because on the profiles will flash on her side,
Uh-huh.
and whether my profile comes up or not, it's up to her. I don't even know, but if she swipes right, then it'll show on my sides that somebody, will be like all shaded out to, oh, somebody likes you. But then you can pay more to upgrade and see who likes you, or you can just swipe right on the profiles that show. And if her profile happens to be one of them, and you swipe right on it again, then the app will match you and say, "Oh, you match. Now you guys can start talking."
Yeah, for another $10.
So like messenger chat, like
like that.
Right,
Yeah, but success, would you recommend it? I mean, or would you use it again? Or are you still on it?
I'm still on it, but I don't know. Maybe I'm a cheapskate, but I just don't really.
We don't want to upgrade.
I don't upgrade to that. I'm like, because if I happen to swipe right at somebody, that means I'm kind of interested.
Right.
And if somebody swipes right at me, they're kind of interested. But if we happen to not swipe right on each other, then that's that. It doesn't matter, because if I see maybe 10 or 5 or 100 likes that likes me, and if I keep swiping right and none of them match, that just means something's off. Like I'm looking for something different, or they're looking for something different. And so if we're not matching on our swipes, then I don't really worry about it.
So no harm, no foul.
Is it like long term, or is it just anything?
It can be anything. But,
anything, right?
But usually Tinder in the U.S. is kind of like a hookup site.
Okay.
But I mean, that's only in the U.S. I've met, out of all the people I've met only one person from the U.S. Everybody else has been an international person.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
It's international too?
It's international too.
Holy shit.
But in other countries. Yeah,
did they say they were in one spot?
Countries.
Okay. Did you know that before you swiped on them?
Sometimes, depending on the profile, they'll say that, yes, I'm from wherever, and I'm in this area.
So maybe they're visiting.
Or sometimes they'll just keep their same profile. Let's say somebody from Japan comes here for whatever reason. And if they don't switch on their profile, edit their profile saying, I'm from Japan, I'm only here visiting for business or school or family or whatever, it'll just show their profile in Japan or whatever. But sometimes people will say, hey, I'm visiting from Australia or whatever, I'm here for the holidays or whatever, swipe right on me and let's have some fun or whatever. So
let's go play cards.
Yeah, other countries see Tinder as a dating app or something like that. Whereas in the U.S., it's more like a hookup.
So doing all those so these apps you can't have. So going on to the next thing we're going to talk about, fake profiles.
Oh yeah.
Here we go.
So the apps, do they make profiles, even fake profiles on that shit?
I don't know if it necessarily comes from the company itself, but there are fake profiles all over that.
So they do.
Yep, yeah. People who claim to be, here locally, but they're actually, I'm in a different country. So when you were talking about different country with another app, my ears kind of perked up there though too. Yeah. But there's a lot of deception on there. And that's really what it is. Is this the person who I think I'm talking to?
Really who them? Yes,
right. There's also a safety component there too.
Send me some money.
There are, because some apps when they first come out, they will have. They don't advertise it. But they will have fake profiles on there already to like your profile, right? Okay. To kind of get you into it. And then for some reason, their AI or their programming be
bunch of bots.
Yeah, or they mysteriously passed away.
Or they'll just say I'm no longer interested or something. Or they'll ask you a certain question that you really don't like.
What's your social security number?
Yeah, something like that. Or they'll just ask you something inappropriate that makes you want to unfriend them.
Yeah.
Boxers
so it kind of shows. So it kind of shows that it's real, but it's really not real, because basically they just want to engage you, and they keep you engaged. But at a certain point, they let you go or make you let them go, and that's a fake profile. Yeah. That's also started by the company.
That's weird, though. Yeah. Just to make you engaged in that shit, though. Just
they got you, though.
Trigger you like that.
They got you, but
because they want you to start using the app. Oh, I met somebody really cool. Oh, it just didn't work out. Now I'm going to keep trying and see if I can meet somebody cool and make it work out.
Like an algorithm.
Yeah,
maybe there's another woman.
Yeah, but then there are those plenty of fake profiles where, after a while, they'll just oh, what's your name? What's your address? What's your social security? They don't usually ask your social security number. But name, address, phone number, email.
Yeah.
And they'll start talking, and then after 4 or 5 messages, why don't you give me your phone number and we can talk for real? And then you give them your phone number, and then they don't show up anymore. You look at their profile's gone, and then you start getting freaking like a bunch of like marketing or phone calls or things like that.
You get just a random vague question
Yes.
about, hey, just by the way, just making conversations. Are you into crypto?
Yeah,
You know?
yeah. So nowadays when people ask me to go like on to give me their phone number, oh, you want to talk to each other? I'm like, no, that's okay. I'm fine here talking in the beginning till we get to know each other.
Exactly.
Or also one other thing is like they'll ask for your WhatsApp or your Telegram because
What's that?
those are different apps.
Oh,
Because on those apps you also go by your telephone number too, and so then once you give them your WhatsApp or your Telegram number, they'll use that as your regular phone number and start messaging.
What's your address?
Yeah.
Like, oh, do you have a dog?
Yeah.
the
So
fuck, dude.
Yeah, I have a Rottweiler.
yeah, so like
Yeah.
I'm on so many different apps now, and people ask that all the time. I'm like, okay, that's fine.
What's like? Okay, there's how many apps you think there? Like 10.
10
maybe?
what?
Like
Dating apps?
I know Facebook has dating now.
Yeah, there's Facebook dating.
Snapchat
Yeah.
is practically like a.
Oh, there's so many different kinds out
Yeah,
there.
that's what I was saying. Like the only
Yeah.
one I've known was Tinder and Facebook dating. That's it.
No, there's-
Or unless you're gonna end up on Craigslist for like a what are those missed encounters?
yeah, missed encounters.
Yeah.
Those are so freaking hilarious.
Yeah. Can't believe those people are still kicking themselves over
that's
the missed
what-
encounter. Holding out hope that
There's so
someday
many
they're going to
different
cross
types
paths
of
once
dating
again.
apps out there now. So,
Yeah.
I mean, you can go. There's like the Asian dating apps, or if you want like, you know, like there's certain like Christian apps, things like that. So
Oh.
like they're so selective now. It's up to you what you want to look for. I mean,
Sure.
just go on like what the Apple apps or what is it? What's the thing?
Apple Store.
Apple Store,
Apple
and you can
Store.
and just go dating sites or dating apps. And you have so many, or you
That's
can just
great.
go like Christian dating.
So they have
There's,
their
like,
own
so-
category for.
Yeah.
Holy shit. Okay, well,
Yeah, I can't tell you though. Just like in person, you know, outside of the online apps and such. You ever get in a conversation with a woman and then everything's going great and you're like, wow, you know, you're really attractive and you seem really nice, and then you get the question, are you a sugar daddy?
Oh yeah, I get that all
And
the
that
time.
goes to our next question right here.
Yeah, and it's
So here we're talking about simps and sugar daddies, and see, these are like people that go beyond to please people. You know what I'm saying? So in the dating world nowadays, everyone is looking for something.
Yes, definitely.
You know what I'm saying? You don't know if it's love,
it
but
ain't
love
love.
for what? Like love for money, a little security. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah,
what are you
sounds
looking
legit.
for?
Yeah, sounds like we're starting this off on the right foot for a really
Well,
long-lasting relationship
usually-
here. How much money do you make?
Usually,
What are you driving?
Usually in the beginning, after you say, "Hey, my name's blah blah blah. I'm from this," and look at my profile, see if you're interested too. The next thing you ask is like, "Hey, what are you seeking?" I'm seeking this and this and this, and that's the time where like, "Oh, I'm looking for a sugar daddy. I'm looking for a long-term
Oh,
relationship."
they
I'm
really
looking-
so you ask that, and they literally tell you what the fuck they're looking
Well,
for.
you should, because again, you
Right.
are also there.
Just-
What do you want? So you let them know. Say, hey, I'm so and so. I live in this
Yeah.
town, city, whatever. I'm looking for a LTR, a long term relationship. I'm looking for to hook up. I'm just looking for friends. We'll see what happens.
Yeah.
Some people are like, oh, I like your profile. You look really good for your age. I'm looking for a sugar daddy.
Yeah, it's like,
happened.
Oh, great.
So-
Great. So really what you're saying is you don't really want to hang out with me other than the fact that I have some money in my
Yes.
wallet.
That's
That's
fine.
Hey, that's
At least they're truthful about
whatever
it.
floats their boat, man.
Right.
Plus, you're not wasting time right away. You're
You
looking for-
mentioned it. People are looking for different things,
Yeah.
right? And but that's the first time somebody said, "Am I a sugar daddy?" I had to Google that. So I was
up.
like,
Wait, when was that? Like,
I was just
Sugar-
asked if I'm a sugar daddy. I didn't know like it was a pickup line or something. And
was
then
it
I
like
looked at it and
last
I looked
month
it
or
up
like
and I
3
went,
months ago or 3 years ago?
This is probably maybe like 4 or 5 months ago, and then like last summer, so summer of 22.
That's the first
someone
time
asked
you.
me. Yeah,
heard
well, I
of what
hadn't
a
been
sugar
out. Yeah, I've been.
You
I'd
look like
been,
a sugar daddy.
But you didn't know what
Awesome,
the term
thank you.
sugar
Yeah.
daddy was.
I had no idea.
He had a
okay.
I thought it
Google
was just an endearing like nickname.
Sweet
Oh,
older
are you?
man.
Yeah, like sweet. Yeah, sweet
Sweet
older
older
man. You know, but is 49 really that old? I mean,
No.
Well-
that's your prime, man.
It just depends.
That's your prime. That's not your. No.
I mean,
I
if,
appreciate that. You're what, 38?
if she's 18,
Yes.
20,
I'm still a
30,
baby.
49 is older. Depends. Sometimes they don't mind. Like, I've met so many, and I'm like, yeah, I'm twice your
think-
age. And they're like, oh, that's fine. I like
It
older
all
men.
falls within age group, I think, though. Real
Sure,
shit.
sure.
Real shit. So like this, I wouldn't say this generation. I would just say most majority of these females nowadays, they only look for that one thing, a sugar daddy.
Yeah, or the six
They're not
and
looking
six.
for no long-term relationship, dude.
6 feet tall, has a six-pack abs, and makes 6 figures.
Yep.
Right.
Oh well, to each their own.
Exactly. Right. And yeah.
Yeah.
Who are we
Damn,
to judge?
That is crazy though, man. The world of dating in 2023, man.
And in
So
Green
it's-
Bay, Wisconsin's pretty rough.
Yeah,
Pretty rough. Gets lawful chilly here.
everybody knows everybody. Right?
Damn, there's over 7 billion people on this world. Why do you think your soulmate is from the same city,
Exactly.
or even the same
Exactly.
state, or even the same country?
Maybe they're
as you
from De
are?
Pere. Maybe they're from Ashwaubenon.
Yeah,
Maybe they're from Menasha.
they could be from Chicago.
Chicago, right? I mean, I could ride my bike there.
There you go.
It'd be great. Take a skateboard.
Yeah. So all right,
Mr. R&B had a skateboard in his vehicle, and
Yeah.
I was like, "Is that yours?" He said, "No, it's my
that's
kid's."
my kids, man.
No, he's got his hat backwards with his thrasher ass long hair. That's his skateboard.
Absolutely. Well, hey,
But that was dating in 2023, man. So
yep, we're going to take a quick break here on Asians and Caucasians, and we'll get right back at it right after this.
hoorah.
Welcome back to Asians and Caucasians from Green Bay, Wisconsin. That first segment, we were talking about dating in 2023, particularly online, and also our dating experiences, respectively, here in the Green Bay, Wisconsin area, the metropolitan area.
Yes.
Mr. R&B, let's start us off just with a little bit of a background about your situation and
About me.
yeah, let's hear about you.
Well, I'm married, and I got 2 kids. And relationships, man. Fuck. What should I say, man?
And how old are you,
Should
Mr.
I lie?
R&B? How old are you,
Should
Mr.
I
R&B? Don't lie.
I'm 39.
39. Not
39.
quite 4 yet.
Fucking 39, dude.
Well, online you can lie to anybody else except for yourself, and when you're on this podcast,
Right, and Mr.
So I'm
R&B.
27 then.
Yeah,
No,
you shaved
and this
today.
podcast.
Yeah.
No lying on the
Yeah, I was
podcast.
kidding.
You shaved today. You look like you're 19.
Dude, I shaved last night.
You still have that little.
I have my little pubes hanging out.
No, you have that.
Some little dirt.
What are we talking about?
You
that
have
on
the
your face?
you have that little Hispanic freaking black marker across your top
Damn.
cheek.
All right, tell us about your situation. You're married, but you were split up for a short time, right?
Yeah, man. So it was, it is what it is. And, kind of just finding myself with who I am, kind of figuring out myself again. That's really was the big thing. It was like, you were caught up in, especially in the Hmong culture, when you're married for so long, it's a good thing. It's cool because everybody sees you married for that long. They praise it. They praise it, but then when shit hits the fan, it's like everybody's picking sides and this and that, and a lot of dark moments and a lot of bullshit comes out of the woodwork. But yeah, I've been married for 17 years. Yeah, so I had a little break.
How long was your break?
Too short. it was too short. Yeah, but I mean,
It was like just a few months, right?
It was
Yeah, it
longer
was like-
than Ross and Rachel's.
yeah, it was like 3 months, 3.5 months. So it was a little break time, but majority, it wasn't even a thought of getting back in the fucking crowd. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was like, I need my fucking peace now.
And
Like,
really,
it is, dude.
And thank you for bringing that up,
Yeah.
because I think what it comes down to is people would think, oh, you're splitting up because and you're going to be much happier. It's not instantaneous.
It's not, dude.
It's not instantaneous.
Yeah, it's fucking, it's emotional, damaging, fucking, like, physical. Well, I lost 10 pounds, so I'm pretty fucking happy. Yeah, I went to the doc and I lost 10 pounds. So, I mean, shit. I mean,
Breakup diet.
Yeah, I wouldn't say, we didn't drink that much, did we?
I thought she weighed 130 or 140. Never mind.
I lost 10 pounds.
Oh, okay.
Get the
I
fuck
saw where Fonzie was going on that one. Yeah, but you're obviously back together with your wife, and
back
congratulations.
together, so yeah, it's second chances, I guess. Second chances, and I
Nothing wrong with that.
didn't get to, find myself a Hayek, but it was
Almost.
good to see and talk to other people for a little bit.
Selma didn't make it to the Austin Straubel International
Fucking
Airport here in Green Bay.
Fucking Selma. Yeah. But yeah.
Wasn't meant to be.
Yeah. And then she unfriended me.
She unfriended you.
Yeah.
Salma.
Well,
Fucking.
well, if you want to talk, we'll
We'll save that for another day.
sounds good.
Yes.
Thanks, Mr. R&B. Next up, Fonzie. Fonzie, tell us about yourself, sir.
Well, I'm ancient. I'm 50. I was married. Got married when I was 22. Married for almost 21 years. Like
Holy
20
shit.
years and like maybe 12 months. So almost 21 years. But that was way back then. I'm divorced 8 years now. So been...
How long
Yeah.
have you guys been dating?
Who?
Before you guys got married, though.
Oh, we met in college, UWM. We probably knew each other for about a year. And then we started dating.
Was it a rush marriage? 'Cause
Kinda.
You know how the Hmong people are.
Well, it was a different kind of rush. Because,
How is that? Are there like guns involved?
Dude, no.
No.
It's guns with verbal
Okay.
words.
It's more pressure and such.
Yes.
But ours was different. Like we kind of knew each other for like a year, and we really didn't like each other. But we grew close because we hung out with the same friends. We had a big group of like 10, 12 friends that studied together and hung out together, played pool and different things together. But eventually, we kind of like started liking each other, and we wanted to start dating. But
liking each other.
Yeah,
you really liked each
yeah,
other.
liked each other, not just like friend but
I
more
met
like.
I met his ex-wife. Yeah, I thought she was Chinese. Remember at the restaurant, and I was like, "Who is this lady just sitting there?" I'm like, "Oh, that's your ex." I'm like, "Holy shit, she looks young," and I thought she was Chinese. So I was like, "Oh, you like Chinese women, huh? Okay."
I'm shallow. I just like them good looking. But yeah, we started liking each other. But then her parents didn't like me anymore. While we were friends and everything, her parents were like, "Oh, cool. You know, he's from a good family. You guys all get along well." And we were just all friends because we had like a bunch of guys and girls that we just hang around. Yeah. But then once her parents found out that she and I were starting to like each other, they're like, close the freaking door on that. Because they had other plans for her. They wanted her to marry other sorts of people and me.
See, that's like, what was that movie? What was that fucking movie, that Asian movie that blew up in the box theater?
Crazy Rich Asians.
Yeah. It's kind of like, it's like that scenario that
they have
always,
a standard of what they want their daughter or son to marry. And if you don't fit that profile, then...
You be doctor now. Mm-hmm. You know,
yeah,
like
living your dreams through your kids.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Yeah, so we kind of had to sneak around a little bit, and she had to tell her parents, "Oh no, I don't like him that way," and blah blah blah. But they knew better because, her sister, which is like maybe a year and a half older than her, also went to school with her at the UWM there, and so she would.
So she was the spy.
Kinda, yeah.
She was the spy.
So she was getting heat from their parents, so she was just always like, "Hey, I don't want the heat from her parents. Just break it up with him."
And every time I talk to Fonzie, the first thing he says to me is just, "No comment." No comment. I don't want this to be on TMZ.
Well, eventually we got married, and so we were married for 20 years, and then divorced 8 years ago, and so we have one daughter together. But yeah, since I want to say 2016, I think 2007.
I think that's when I met you too.
No, we met in like 2018 or 19.
Later?
Yeah.
You were in Green Bay that long already before?
Yeah.
Really? Mm-hmm. That's why I was like, I thought you just moved here. That's why I was like...
Oh, yeah, I got divorced in, I believe, 2016, and so I've been single since then. Did a lot of dating, a lot of dating apps and such, but I'm still currently single.
How are things been for a 50-year-old now, Asian Hmong male in Green Bay, Wisconsin, when it comes to dating? What's that been like?
He's my grandpa.
I don't know. It's just weird. Like I said, when I first got divorced, I was like 42, so I was younger and totally into the new dating scene. I'm just like, wow, it's just so different.
That's
trying to date when you're 42.
It's intimidating.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Like, how did you feel? Like, should you approach him, or you just say, "Hey, fuck it, I'll just stick to being the quiet guy in the background, and hopefully somebody introduces us"?
Actually, I've always been really outgoing and had a lot of different interests. So I met a lot of different people just in my everyday life and hobby and doing things. So I've always had people that I could talk to. And so now to transition that into dating, it wasn't too hard because you just talk with people that that you have common interests in. Like I rock climb, I read, I paint, I go to a library. I do a lot of different things, and you just meet different people all over. And from there on, you just start with a little conversation. You find out you guys keep smiling at each other. It's like, hey, I'm single. Here's my number. Are you interested? Are you also single? And just go on from there. If they're like, oh no, I have a boyfriend, and I'm like, okay, no worries, no big deal.
I think she's fucking lying.
If she is, she is, but it's not up to me to judge.
Right, you just be respectful,
Just
right?
be respectful, because...
You know what? No, we're not going to be respectful on that.
No, always try to be respectful.
Boy, things just took a turn.
Be respectful. Because, at that time, I'm 42. I'm much older. I'm, who I am. I don't want somebody to, play games with me and do all this stuff. I'm like,
that's
hey...
what I'm saying.
Because I try to teach, my younger cousins, my younger friends, and my daughter and such, hey, when you date to marry. If you are dating somebody and you don't like them, then what? Break up. There's nothing wrong with that, okay? Because you're not going to marry the first person you go on a date with, or if you last 6 months or a year or whatever. They could end up being married or end up not being married together. But what you want to do is you want to find out who you are, and you want to find out what you want in your relationship for the rest of your life. And that's when you should find, actually be serious and marry somebody. And if you find somebody, hey, it doesn't matter if I don't like him or he doesn't cook or whatever, but if you have the same core values and you feel that you are compatible with him, then that's how you stay together, and that's how you make a relationship work. But if you find something you don't like about them, oh, they're not hardworking enough, or they got bad BO or whatever, whatever.
Does that happen a lot?
Yeah, it happens a lot because, like I said, people are different. You just find out what you want in your life, and you find out what you want in your partner, and you go from there on.
Right. And
compromise. Compromise, right?
And look at him. He's smiling. He's smiling. He's coughing at the moment, but he's smiling, though. And one thing, Fonzie, you've always had a really good attitude.
I try.
Yes, he has.
And he knows. Let me tell you, to our listeners
The
out there,
alcohol helps.
But you know a lot of women in this area, and you're respected. You're a gentleman. Which is really cool. And versus. Yeah, we're all hanging out with the guy who just treats people less than desirable.
Yes.
So it's really cool just to be in his presence, where he'll see a nice female and we'll like, ooh, Fonzie, who's this? And Fonzie will introduce us. He's always a gentleman that way too. So
I
really appreciate that.
I don't know that many women.
He's got the balls to approach.
Absolutely, yeah, you do.
Balls.
Fonzie has assertiveness.
Yes.
I really just don't give a shit.
So does Chris, our friend Chris.
Yep.
He's really good with that too.
He is. He's quiet.
Dude, yeah.
He's quiet, but he's cool.
Yeah.
And the ladies look at him and they're like, "That Chris, he's cool."
Plus, he's always in a suit.
Yeah, he's dressed to the nines.
Yeah,
he's
definitely.
dressed fantastic.
95 degrees out, and I have a fucking blazer on, fucking suit and tie on,
Yeah.
fucking fedora hat.
Well, but we've seen
tank top, and he's got like a freaking jean jacket on, and
we've seen women in heels though
blazer.
before, and
Yep.
they that can't be comfortable, but they feel comfortable in what they're wearing, and they'll take a little pain just to try to look better. The guys do the same thing by wearing wool, polyester sport coats in 90-degree.
I
it's up
I
to
won't
them.
fuck that. I won't do that ever again, dude.
no, I sweat too much.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, I hear you.
Well, what about you, P. Riz? Let's bring it to P. Riz.
Yeah,
Well, I'm
what's your
40.
situation?
Well, I'm 49. I'm divorced. Been divorced about 3 years.
Welcome to the club.
Thank you. Really what it is, I can really describe it as a roller coaster of emotions. I mean, there's, part of it's relief, but part of it's, sadness, part of it's excitement, part of it's like, what's up, what's going to go on, because life and dating has changed. It seems, just in the last, I've been out of the dating scene for 13, 14 years.
How did it
so.
feel though? Like when you actually went and found hey, I'm divorced now. I gotta. What was the first thought? Like, hey, do I jump back right into the game, or do I just take some time for myself? That's what I did. Like I told you before, like finding peace just for yourself.
Yeah,
first.
you got to take time to breathe.
Yeah.
I think it's really important, though, like you mentioned, and both of you mentioned, was to really try to find yourself. What is it that I want? As we age, we tend to cut the bullshit.
Yes.
Because we've kind of learned how to, what's a waste of time and what's not, or at least what we believe is not a waste of time, or what would be a
boobies
waste
or
of time.
booty. That's it. That was my.
Right, and everybody's different, right?
I was like, booty or boobies, man.
Yeah, and really, it just comes down to like personal preference, but it's also compatibility. You can look for the person and think that that's the exact right person who you can see yourself with. But then, you start talking with them and you realize you have absolutely nothing in common with them.
People are fake.
It really comes down to who you're compatible with and who you're not. Some people may look good and you may look good to them, but then once you start talking, you realize that you have absolutely no compatibility whatsoever. And that's how it goes. But like you mentioned, there's 7 million people and
7 billion.
7 billion people.
You try to find closest so you don't have to travel across the fucking world, though.
Right.
So you try to stay local or within the states.
Yeah, but I think
I don't have a passport.
on that aspect,
Me neither.
you're trying to make it convenience. Make it convenient. Because I remember a long time ago, I was probably 8th or 9th grade and talking with my aunts. We were like probably driving somewhere to a cousin's house, and she's probably like at that time like in her early 20s, and I was maybe 14, 15. And for some reason they say, "Hey, Pos, you're dating. What are you looking for in a girl?" And I'm just like, "Hey, to me, it doesn't matter race as long as we get along. I want somebody to be my best friend.
Exactly.
I don't want to lie to them.
Don't-
I want to be able to share everything. And to me, race doesn't really matter." And they're like,
Yeah.
"Oh, but you're Hmong. Don't you want to marry a Hmong girl?" I'm like,
Yeah,
"Well,
dude, I
that'd be
fucking hate
nice,
that.
but I don't want to just exclude myself just to a Hmong girl."
Mm-hmm.
And then my aunt comes back, "Well, no, when I marry a guy, he's got to be Hmong. It's just going to be easier." I'm like, "So basically you're telling me it's easier to love somebody that's of the same race?" I'm like, "Yeah, it could be because you have so many things in common. But again, now you're limiting who you love because, they have to be this, they have to be that." If you really love somebody, it doesn't really matter what race they are or what their size is or how tall they are or whatever. Because if you love somebody, you should love somebody. And yeah, it might be harder if you fell in love with like a, Hispanic or Italian or whatever. But if you love somebody, you love somebody. And whether it's hard or not, do you really love them? Because at that time, do you really love them, or do you only love them because I love them because they fit this criteria, they have this criteria? I mean, that's fine too, because you should love certain people because they're dependable. They love me back. But like things like that, I believe are more core values, not like a materialistic or superficial thing. I mean, yeah, it's easier to love somebody in your own race and culture and ethnicity because you have so many things in common. But I don't want to say, I only should love this race because it'll be easier. Because then, really, love in life is not easy. But if you want to make it easy for yourself and that's what you're looking for, again, that's up to you. You decide who and what you want to love. And if it's too hard for you, then yeah, maybe it is not right for you. So again, I have my opinion. They have their own opinion. To me, I don't mind if it's hard or not, because if I think it's worth it, I'll make it work. But other people, they don't want to have those complications. They're like, okay, I'm going to be a doctor, so I need somebody, I'm going to have this certain lifestyle and this certain group of people I'm hanging around with. I want to make sure my, partner is able to also fit within that same circle and things like that. I'm like, okay, that's right.
That's a compatibility. Like, the way you guys, like you say, I think it's mostly just like our culture that fucking puts it like that. So
No, all cultures like that.
right, yeah, most, I wouldn't say Western. No, they're more open. But
No.
like Asian cultures, I think Asian cultures, like, it's more fucking like, hey, we want you to fucking
Tradition. It's
Tradition.
tradition.
It's tradition.
Yeah.
But because all cultures have their own traditions, they all want somebody to marry within their culture. Like Jewish people, okay, Jewish, parents, they want their son or daughter to marry a nice Jewish man or, have a nice Jewish wife because they expect a certain thing. Greek people, Italian, Mexicans, whatever. They all want, hey, we're a certain type. We want you to marry that. Oh, we're a very Christian family. We want you to marry a nice Christian girl, blah, blah, blah. It's just culture. You want somebody that's...
I got a story for you guys.
that they get along with and what they're familiar with.
Yeah, my mom, like, my dad was a pastor, so, and my mom didn't really, work with black people and Hispanic people, right? So, one day we're at church, and my sister's dating this black guy, right? Cool-ass dude from California. We're sitting there during the church service, and he goes up and sings a fucking song, and I'm sitting there I'm like, damn, this guy can sing. Like, I'm big into music, so I'm sitting there like, damn, wowed by this guy's voice. And then my mom's like, and my mom's like, she's really nice, but she's really fucking, at the time, she was like, hey, find a Hmong guy, or it's for my sisters. Like, go find a Hmong guy. Stay within culture. Blah blah blah. And I'm sitting there like looking at her, and I just started seeing her crying because she was so touched by his voice. He was like, ever since then, she was like, you know what? Yeah, I don't have nothing against other races or anything anymore. Like, that was the day. Like, and she really didn't like much people too. So yeah, she had a good heart, but yeah.
And we all kind of have that moment where maybe if we prejudge people, and
Yes. Yep.
you have that light bulb moment where you're like, boy, was I wrong, and I'm going to keep that to myself. But from here on out, I'm going to try to live my life differently, or maybe live with more open mind, or without judgment.
That's why I try to teach my kids.
Yeah,
Like,
to be true to yourself.
You got to kick it with everybody. Like, you don't do that shit where you're fucking isolating them from everyone else. Don't do that shit.
Yeah, being so selective.
Yeah, like, I don't like that shit. Like, because that's like you said. You judge them right away. Just stereotypes. What I hear, I don't want you affiliating with them. I don't like that shit.
Yeah. Have you ever been judged where in a situation where you were the one who was judged, and people had all these preconceived notions about you, and they didn't come to you and approach you and want to discuss it with you? They just kind of assumed and went on the words of other people. That's extremely unfair. And if you've ever been on the receiving end of that,
I'm a minority. I've never been judged like that.
Shit. Well, I mean, everybody's been judged like that. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So
Yeah, we've always been judged. I mean,
Sure.
my family was the first Asian family in our probably like in the Fox City's first Hmong family there. So yeah, when I went to school, the only other Asian people I saw were my brothers and sisters. Everybody else was white.
I was
Nothing
in
wrong with that.
Pulaski.
No, it was way before.
I was in Pulaski.
You forget I'm your grandpa. You probably
Yeah.
weren't even born then.
I wasn't born yet.
Yeah,
but
this was like way back in '76. So
And if you're talking way back in '76 in the Fox Cities, Wisconsin area, I mean, predominantly white.
oh, definitely.
And like probably what 95% white.
yeah, I think like the only other
It's intimidating, I would think.
minority I saw, but even at that time, I didn't realize it. I had like a classmate, and she was like, that was in my sister's grade, two classes below me, and their last name was Diaz. And I just thought it was just a white name. It wasn't until I got into high school where it clicked. I'm like, oh, Diaz, that's a Hispanic name. But again, at that time, you start learning like, oh, different last names are from different areas. Like I had like a classmate, and her name was Rupolski. Oh, that's Polish, and then SK. Yeah, KI. And then one of my best friends was Sean Vandenberg. Oh, Vandenberg. Oh, that's a German name. And that's when I started to realize, hey, we're all different cultures. We're all different races. We all come from different places in the world.
Yeah. Absolutely. What didn't you two? You guys still haven't found what I'm looking for. I believe in Kingdom Come that all the colors will bleed into one.
Yes.
I mean, talk about an iconic lyric, and really kind of speaks to kind of what we're talking about today.
Yes.
Yep. It does, dude. So.
But yeah, referring to stereotypes, the only time I believe stereotypes should be used are when you have no other knowledge. And stereotypes are things where you've never experienced, but you go off of basic stereotypes, basic knowledge where when you're, it's at freaking 2 a.m. in the morning and you're in the middle of a urban city, you have to be careful. That's a stereotype, but again, it's true. So you have to be
too many movies.
Yeah, but it's only times like that when you have no knowledge. That's when you should fall upon stereotypes. So once you acquire knowledge, you should go beyond that stereotype. So like the first time I meet a black person 2 a.m. in the middle of Milwaukee, on freaking like Vliet and 22nd, then I go back on stereotypes. But first person that approaches the car, they could be trying to rob me, or they could be asking for help. Would say, hey, where are you from? You don't look like you belong here. Do you need some help to get out of here? It's your stereotype. But once you meet the person, then that stereotype should break down. Because when you start basing it off of knowledge, then, you go
how
off
they
on your knowledge.
approach you, talk.
Yeah,
everything.
things like that.
Gestures, yeah.
Yeah, it happens all the time. Like, I used to live in Milwaukee. And like I said, in the middle of Milwaukee, in the middle of night, you could have, most of the time, it's probably somebody trying to do harm to you. But sometimes they've like say, hey, you look like you're kind of lost. Are you okay? And they're like, hey, there's like a freaking homeless guy, black as night, approaching me, asking me for help, not asking to give him money or, trying to hold me up. So again, go off of your stereotype when you have no knowledge. But once you have experience of things, then let go of that stereotype.
Yeah. That's right.
Well, let's do a quick recap here. Okay, we talked about dating in 2023, Green Bay, Wisconsin, and this inaugural podcast of Asians and Caucasians from Green Bay, Wisconsin. We talked about a little bit of background of the people you're listening to today, Mr. R&B, Fonzie, and P. Riz. And really appreciate the listeners for tuning in and checking our podcast out. And we are open to comments. What did you like about it? What don't you like about it? You have any ideas for us, for show ideas?
Talk to us.
Let us know how they get a hold of us here, Mr. R&B.
All right, so you guys can... I'll drop the social media links when we post stuff. But it's Mr. mr.rmb official@gmail.com. So if you guys have any topics or any ideas for us to talk about, that's do we want to talk about crazy shit or do we just,
Whatever you want.
just whatever the fuck we want to talk about?
Anything that we've touched upon, comments or things that we've made that you agree or disagree on, or things that you want us to clarify a little bit more because we just might have said a paragraph or a few sentences and you were unsure, let us know. Also, again, this is us talking, but it doesn't mean it has to be what we want to talk about. Maybe there's something concerning you that you want us to bring up. Feel free, let us know.
Sounds good. For Mr. R&B, Fonzie, and P-Riz in this inaugural podcast of Asians and Caucasians from Green Bay, Wisconsin, we thank you for tuning in. And be sure to join us next week. We'll have the podcast up each week by Friday, noon Central Time. Thanks for tuning in.
Danka, thank you for listening.
Let's go.